Hi everyone, I'm Bill Roberts and you're watching Arts Talk.
And I'm Jennifer Boudreau.
We're back, our second show on Shaw TV. It's exciting again to be back. This is a show that promotes artists within Edmonton and the surrounding area, so we want to give you that opportunity no matter what your genre is, whether you're an actor, filmmaker, musician,
Artist,
sculptor,
chef.
painter, chef, you name it. If it's an art, we want to be able to get you on the show so we can promote it and talk about what you do, maybe talk about any upcoming events that you may have as well. And Jennifer, last show, we talked about the fact that you were producing a short film, and it was just, I think, ready to go into production at that point. How'd it go?
It went really, really well. We shot over 4 days. It's a science fiction thriller called Alternate, written and directed by Louis Mehta and starring James Mosier. And it was so fabulous. We had such a great team. Everybody knew what they were doing. They were on top of everything. We finished on time, under budget. You're welcome.
Of course.
And yeah, we're really excited. We're hoping to have a rough cut at the end of July so that we can send it to sound, and totally finished in November. And we're looking forward to submitting. There's a list of festivals, which we will not be releasing the names of what we're submitting to at this point. And of course, the Ampias will submit to that.
Excellent. So I always like to know behind the scenes. There had to be at least one or two things that kind of were out of control, a little bit funny. I'm interviewing you now, by the way.
I see that. Yeah.
This is your big test.
We didn't have a lot of time for things to get out of control. We had, well, actually, our last night we were shooting really late into the night, and we did have an issue with contacts. So it did take us, it put us an hour behind, which made everybody a little bit antsy. And so our craft service showed up with Nutella wraps and fruit, and then all of a sudden everyone was happy again. Once you feed them, they're back on it. So
food's always important on set, isn't it?
Yeah, and our first AD, he kept us on time and on schedule, and so even if we fell behind, we ended up picking it up and catching up by the end of the night.
Nice. So it was all local actors, all local crew, all shot here in Edmonton.
Yes, and it was a learning opportunity. It was the first time that we've cast through agencies instead of casting friends and family and stuff, and so dealing with agents just adds a whole new level to the producing side of things. So it was fabulous.
Kept your phone busy.
Yes, I felt very popular.
Well, I've been up to a few things as well.
Excellent.
As
What'd
always.
you do?
Well, I moved into a new house.
Right.
So that's fun and exciting, and was
When's
stressful.
the party?
Well, I'll invite you. It'll be after your birthday, though. I'm sorry.
That's okay. You don't need
And
to celebrate my birthday.
Continuing to rehearse for the Fringe Festival.
Right.
So we'll be in the Edmonton Fringe at Apocalypse,
coming up really
Saskatchewan
quick.
in August. And getting to that, we've got some great guests from the Fringe Festival coming up.
Yes.
I have Murray Udis and Jill Roselle. And you have, really quick?
I've got Kennedy Jensen today, and she's with the Edmonton Rock Music Festival.
Excellent. We're going to be right back after this. And welcome back. I'm Bill Roberts, and you're watching Arts Talk. This is an exciting segment for me because we get to talk about the 2015 Edmonton Fringe Festival, which I also have a show in. I've got with me Murray Udis and Jill Roselle. Murray is the artistic director, and Jill is the executive director. So, Jill, if you could maybe just tell me a little bit about your background, how you got involved with the Fringe.
So I did my first Fringe about 15 years ago when I first moved to Edmonton, and I've been working in theater since I moved to Edmonton. I was recruited out of the Arts and Cultural Management program here, and I have missed 3. The 3 Fringes that I missed were 2 that I was in Edinburgh instead of Edmonton, and 1 where I was helping with a show at the New York Fringe.
That's a pretty good reason.
I figured I was fringing in another part of the world. I had it covered, and I've been now the executive director coming up to my 4th festival.
Awesome. And Murray, how about you?
I am an actor by trade, so I saw my first Fringe Festival here in Edmonton in 1989 and was just, what is this? And performed my first festival in 1992. And like Jill, I think maybe I missed 3 along that time. I was usually, I felt like Mark Meir one year. He's a pretty famous actor in town, for those that don't know. And I did 3 shows once in a festival.
In one festival?
Yes, it was crazy.
You're a busy man.
I did a show with Trevor Schmidt and the Unconscious Collective, and I literally had to have the stage manager. The show ended, I ran out in costume. I ran across King Edward Park, and I was taking my clothes off as I was doing it, costume pieces flying, and my other stage manager was waiting at halfway point, and I started putting the other costume on, and I ran in, and I had to start the show with a drum beat. Well, you can imagine what my heart was doing. So try to do a drum beat when your heart's going brrrr, Right? So yeah, I think that's a little speaking to the fun of what the Fringe is.
Yeah, you weren't naked, were you? You weren't streaking across King Edward.
Well, I halfway across, I was sort of got down to, less clothes than would be, normal.
Well, the Fringe, and it's just such a fantastic atmosphere down there. And again, as being an actor and being involved, because you have so much fun seeing all your actor friends. But for the viewers who maybe have never been to the Fringe, they got to get down there and see it. You have so many activities other than just the shows as well.
Oh yeah, we have a bustling site going on as well, and all sorts of gems that you can find along the way coming to the site. We've just started animating our wine tent with some of Alberta's best singer-songwriters, and it was a huge hit last year. Like the buzz. What I love about that festival too is the word of mouth. You can have all the marketing in the world and all those things, but the word of mouth of this festival, that gets it done, right? By the end, that wine tent was packed.
Wow.
We got Kids Fringe going on. You got buskers to see. There's 11 groups on the outdoor stage that are going to be going throughout that time. Yeah, it's a really magical time. A couple beer tents to go to as well.
Yeah.
And all the indoor shows.
Yes.
Right, all 207 of them.
Wow.
So, and those are just the shows, let alone the performances. So we figure that over the 11 days, we have over 2,000 performances happening in Old Strathcona.
That's excellent, yeah. And you see how much traffic is down there during Fringe time and how many people are out walking. And
Don't drive.
No, don't bring your vehicle down, for
Do
sure.
not.
Yeah.
Take the streetcar. That is the best way to get
that's
to the
best. It gets you right in the heart of it.
You're right in the middle of it at that
Ride
point.
your bike, but please do not drive.
There you
will
go.
be very frustrated.
Yeah, for sure. The name, supercalifragilistic.
Yes.
I almost said it the other way.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I got it right. How did we come up?
Supercalifragilistic.
How did we come up with the name?
So each year we'll have a bunch of our stakeholder groups. We'll talk to the team leaders and the volunteers, we'll talk to our board of directors and our staff, and we'll kind of come up with a top 10 list of what people are thinking the theme should be. And then from that, we put it out, people vote upon it, and then a smaller list is made, and then I think we ended up with 3 top contenders, and Supercalifragilistic won it out.
Awesome name, for sure.
For me, it's like, I love it because it's a musical theater reference too, right?
Yeah.
So it's got that aspect to it.
Yeah.
And this year, and this is totally serendipitous, we have an incredible amount of full-blown, large-scale musicals, complete with bands.
Wow.
Yes.
Yeah.
Some people are going to swap out an entire band and get the next Fringe show in, and they're going to do that in 15 minutes. You have 15 minutes, people, to get in and out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's beautiful. I'm like, way to go, you guys. I'm going to be there applauding you doing that.
Yeah.
And quickly, Jill, volunteer-wise, you use a ton of volunteers for the festival, and I'm assuming you're probably still looking for volunteers for this year.
We are. We always take volunteers right up until it's the festival, because we're always kind of moving in and out. We have about 1,200 volunteers that help us over the course of the festival site, and depending on when the viewers see it, you can still go online to the website and sign up.
Excellent. And do you get a lot of the same volunteers back every year? I'm assuming you do, and you get a few new ones that kind of sneak in there.
Absolutely, yeah. And we have different teams that people can volunteer for. So people will switch teams. People will have different experiences with it. It's quite fluid, but we do have a lot of people that come back every year for sure.
You bet.
So for our viewers, how do they get more information about the Fringe Festival?
www.fringetheater.ca.
Excellent. You got a Facebook page, anything like
We
that?
got a Facebook
Twitter?
page, we got a Twitter handle, at Edmonton Fringe.
Hashtag YEG Fringe. Last year we had almost 12,000 YEG Fringe hits over it. Everybody's using that hashtag during the festival, and it's a great way to see what's going on.
So you have again a lot of interest. Obviously now I've seen obviously you had a media launch and to launch the new name, and so now is your big push, I assume, to really get marketing the event.
Yeah, June is a massive month for us. Like that's where I wrangle in all the artist information. I heard all the cats.
Yeah.
Bring them all in, and then we start on all the deadlines that start rolling after that. We got to get the program guide sewn up. We got to do all these things, and then July gets a little quiet because everybody goes into rehearsal.
There you go.
Yeah,
Right.
except for the execution. So the production is in full high gear in July. Because that's when we have all of our production team coming on. That's when things are getting built behind the scenes. That's when we get access to our sea cans, because that's where you store a festival in this city.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, excellent. Well, I want to thank both of you, Murray and Jill, for being here. I'm so excited about the Fringe this year. Looking forward to being there August 13th to the 23rd. Make sure you pop out, grab a show, just come out, even enjoy the atmosphere.
You bet.
Enjoy
Come
the
on
beer
down.
tent. You bet.
Fringe is fun.
Thank you very much, both of you. We'll be right back after this.
Hi, welcome welcome back. You're watching Arts Talk. I'm Jennifer Boudreau, and
I am Bill Roberts.
and we have some upcoming events to talk about today. So I'm going to start. I've got
Go ahead.
the Edmonton Air Show, which will be at Villeneuve Airport this year, and it's from August 22nd to 23rd. Have you been to an air show
I've
before?
never been to an air show, to actually see it. I have seen them on TV, but
You're missing out. They're so fun. So you
Yeah.
have to make sure that you go. My
That's
dad
awesome.
has been, he was an air boss at some air shows when I was growing up. So I've been to a zillion of them. They're so fun. You've got to go. And then there's also the Edmonton Dragon Boat Festival. It's at the Lewis McKinney Riverfront Park, and it's August 14th to the 16th. And so that'll be really fun. I think it's a bunch of races, and some of them are even decorated traditionally. It's a really good time.
have you ever
as well.
done that?
No, I don't have the upper body strength for dragon boating, I don't think.
Yeah.
And what do you have for us?
I have a couple of events as well, and this first one I think is really neat because it kind of ties into what we talked about on our previous show as well, because you're getting married.
Oh, yes.
So this one is called Celebrating Connections,
Okay.
and it's called Weddings in Multicultural Alberta. Now this event is on already, and it takes place at the University of Alberta Enterprise Square Galleries, which is on 10230 Jasper Ave. And it's a heritage exhibition with wedding attire, videos, stories of Edmonton couples, and it showcases the dynamic customs and traditions of various communities in the city. So it's on right now, runs till August 1st.
Sounds so sweet.
And for more information on that, again, you can check out through the University of Alberta, I believe, and you get more information on the show times and that type of thing. Also, a big event in Edmonton that comes every August. The Edmonton Folk Festival will be here,
Fun.
August 6th to 9th. And again, a huge amount of great acts. Sinead O'Connor's coming.
No way.
Haven't seen her in years. She'll be here, so that's when you want to get out. So again, for more information on that, you can check out the Folk Festival website. That's at Gallagher Park. Great outdoor event, as we all know. Lots of people attend and lots of people go. Tell us
Awesome.
again a little bit about some of our contact information, just to remind our
Yes,
viewers.
If you have an event or you want to be on our show, please email us at artstalkedmonton@gmail.com and let us know. We'll get you on here.
Excellent. We'll be right back. We'll be right back after this. Thanks, Jen.
Hi, welcome back. I am sitting here with Kennedy Jensen, and she is from the Rock and Roll Society of Edmonton, who produces the Edmonton Rock Music Festival coming
That's
up here in August, the 14th and 15th at Horlack Park.
Yeah.
So please, tell us about this festival. Who's coming?
This is our 5th year, and headlining this year is Pat Benatar and Neil Geraldo, and so we're really excited about that. But we've got the Stampeders are coming, Dr. Hook, and featuring Ray Sawyer, the original singer. Street Heart's going to be playing, Rick Emmett, the singer from Triumph, and we've got 3 really great local bands as well, Punch Drunk Cabaret,
Okay.
the Joint Chiefs, and the Stephanie Harp Experience.
Oh goodness, so fun. So it's just 2 days of non-stop rock and roll.
That's correct.
Okay, so I imagine that it's probably a crazy festival. So tell me some of the funny stories. What's the funniest thing you've seen there?
So I've only been there for 3 out of the 5 years, but my first year we had Kim Mitchell play, and he doesn't have any hair anymore. He's as bald as a cucumber, and there was a time backstage after he finished playing where I was kind of close to the side fence there, cordoning off the public from the backstage, and a couple of guys motioned me over, and they wanted to know if they could get their autograph by Kim Mitchell, who was standing over there. Well, I look, and I don't know if it's Kim Mitchell or not, to tell you the truth, because we have, our backstage has an area for all of our sponsors to have a VIP tent. So I went over to him and I said, "Excuse me, are you Kim Mitchell?" And he said, "No, I'm Rick Kosh from Kosh Lincoln Ford." Or Kosh Ford Lincoln. Anyway, but I said, "Would you mind doing me a favor and pretending you're Kim Mitchell for a minute?" He goes, "Yeah, sure." So we walked over to the side of the fence, and these guys got their picture taken with Kim Mitchell. And everyone was happy.
That's the best thing. Until they posted it and realized, wait a second, that's not Kim Mitchell. Oh, I love it. And so do these bands, do they ask for any really weird things in their riders? I've heard some funny stories, white M&Ms and that kind of stuff.
you know the whole story about the M&Ms was as a matter of fact just to see if a promoter would in fact only like sort out the brown M&Ms as a matter of fact. And actually I think in that case it happened. It's not an urban myth, but
Oh, wow.
in our case, yeah, I mean, you know, the bands that we've had have been really good to work with, to tell you the truth. But I heard that Pat Benatar has come, like she's come to Edmonton a couple of times, and friends of mine who were part of the production from a local aspect a while back said that she'd asked for a washer and dryer. And I was kind of nervous about if that would be in the rider that she provides to us, because I wasn't quite sure where we'd hook that up in the Heritage Amphitheater, to tell you the truth, and why she'd want to wash her own clothes.
What is she doing?
So anyway, fortunately that was not a requirement in our rider, but it's kind of the oddest thing I've ever heard of before.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
I would imagine I would just put a bunch of weird stuff in the rider just to make sure that they read the contract. I think that, yeah, that would be so fun.
Yeah.
So a portion of the profits from your rock music festival go towards your society, the Center for Arts and Music. Is that correct? Tell me about the society.
Yeah. That is the other strong sort of mandate that we have, aside from producing a classic rock festival every year, is we run a music program called the Center for Arts and Music.
Awesome.
And it focuses mainly on kids in inner city schools and gives them a chance to have something to do after school, you know, sort of get off the streets and do something a little more positive. And so we teach them how to play simple rock and roll songs, and it's just, you know, gives them something to do for a couple of hours, a couple of days a week.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So does that happen at their school, or do they go to another location?
It happens at their school.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, we have 2 instructors that go around to the various schools, and so that requires you know, instruments for every school. You know, a little PA system and guitars and keyboards and amplifiers. So I'm putting a plug in there for anybody who wants to donate a guitar. But yeah, we're basically a mobile music program.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And how long have you been around?
The program has been around we've just completed our 4th year. Yeah.
Brand new.
Oh yes, very new.
How many kids do you have?
Not very many, like when you think of the grander scheme of things. I think there's about 10 kids per school, and we're in 4 schools right now.
Okay.
So, and
That's not bad.
it's because we're new and we don't want to grow too quickly.
Yeah.
To tell you the truth, there's a high demand for something like this, you know, a big waiting list when you think about it. But we just want to make sure that we're covering all our bases and growing the school in a good way. And we are planning on expanding this fall for
good.
a couple of other schools. So
Good. And you have a summer camp for the kids too, right?
Yep, we do. And it's going to be from August 10 to 14, which is just the week prior to the festival. So we're hoping that, you know, we always bring down the kids to the site on the first day of the festival, in hopes that, you know, maybe they'll rub elbows with a couple of rock stars. that day.
That's so fun.
Yeah.
Could you imagine going on stage for your first time at a rock music festival with a bunch of rock stars?
It'd be pretty
That
cool.
would be the best way to end summer camp, I think.
Pretty cool.
So, yeah, so I'm so glad that we got to have you on the show, and I'm looking forward to seeing the show and hopefully seeing one of these kids up on stage. So thank you so much for coming and chatting with me today. So everyone go to the Edmonton Rock and Music Festival at Horlock Park, August 14th and 15th. And thank you very much.
You're
We'll
welcome.
be right back.
We're back. I'm Bill Roberts.
I'm Jennifer Boudreau.
Just want to say thank you, first of all, to my guests, Murray Udis and Joe Roselle from the Fringe Festival. Again, I'm so excited about that because being involved in the Fringe Festival, and like Murray said, it's just such a fantastic atmosphere down there. There's so many people. You can see outdoor stuff. You get to go to the indoor shows, you know, street performer type performances as well. Food, a lot of food trucks down there.
That's my favorite.
There's just so much to do. The Edmonton Kids Fringe, you know, so I was really excited to have them on the show. So big thank you to them.
Nice. Well, I want to thank Kennedy Jensen for coming on the show. and look forward to going to her rock music festival in Horlock Park this summer. I've never been, so I think it'll be amazing.
And do you actually know some of those bands?
None of them, but
Well,
I'll
that's even
might
better for
recognize
you.
them when I get there. Maybe.
That's even better for you to go then.
It'll be like I'm reliving the 80s, I think. It'll be great.
What, were you 5 years old in the 80s? Or?
Not born until later in,
Well, there
in
you
the
go.
80s.
You better get listening to some music then, so you know who they are. You know, one thing about this, though, I still
Yeah.
think my interview was probably the best interview I've ever done. I said that at the top of the show, and I
Yeah.
think this was probably the best
You know what?
interview I've
After
ever done.
watching your previous interviews, I would agree with you.
Coming up in our next show in August,
Yes, who do you have?
I have Justin Curry, who's a NAIT student, who won an
Great.
Ampere Award for his student film. So that'll
So
be fun.
exciting. Congratulations to Justin. That's
You
not
bet.
easy.
That's not easy to do.
No, I'm so glad. I'll be with the Victoria School for Arts, and they'll be talking about their art programs. So I think that includes acting and music and dancing and
Fantastic
everything.
facility.
So
Yeah,
I'm
the kids
looking
there,
forward to that.
Some of the shows those kids do, it can rival any of the professional shows that we see. You know,
Agreed.
they're awesome performers at that school for sure. So
Agreed.
that'll be a great guest. So Jennifer, before we head off and say goodbye to our viewers, I just want to quickly mention again our website, which is
Good idea.
artstalktv.com, and our email address, which is artstalkedmonton@gmail.com. So again, if you want to be a guest on the show, you want to get some promotion, please send us an email, and then we will forward it on to our producer Charlene, and we'll make sure that we can see if we can fit you in and get you here so you can promote your art here in Edmonton and surrounding areas. Again, I'm Bill Roberts. You've been watching Arts Talk.
And I'm Jennifer Boudreau.
Thank you so much. We'll see you next time.